Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is Muhammad Faiz Zikri bin Azman. I'm from SR113D1, and today I will give some explanation about cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system is the system that contains the heart and the blood vessels and moves blood throughout the body. For the first thing is about blood. Blood is a river of life that surges within us. Blood is a life-sustaining fluid or magical fluid and serves as a vehicle or transport for distributing body heat, transporting nutrients, gases, and other substances throughout the body. Blood has three functions. Number one is distributing functions. Distributing functions is about delivery of oxygen and nutrients to body tissues, removal of metabolic wastes, and transport of hormones. Number two is regulation functions. Regulation functions is about maintains body temperature, control constant blood pH, and maintain adequate fluid volume. Number three is about protective functions. Protective function is prevention of infection and hemostasis. Hemostasis is about stoppage of blood from injured blood vessels and involve three steps. Number one is a platelet plug formation. Number two is vascular spasm and blood clot formation. Next is about composition of blood. Composition of blood has four things. Number one is a plasma. Number two is red blood cells. Number three is white blood cells. And number four is a platelet. For the plasma have 55% of whole blood, 90% of water, and 10% of solids. For example, is nutrients, gases, hormones, plasma protein, antibodies, metabolic wastes, and electrolytes. For the red blood cells have biconcave shape or disc shape. It contains large amount of hemoglobin. Red blood cells also is a transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. Its lifespan is about 100 to 120 days. Old and damaged erythrocytes are removed by macrophages of the liver and the spleen. Erythrocyte disorders include anemia and polycythemia. For white blood cells, the functions of white blood cells is defending body against harmful microorganisms and foreign particles for defense and immunity. It has two basic classifications or groups. Number one is granulocytes. Granulocytes have neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Number two is agranulocytes. Agranulocytes have lymphocytes and monocytes. Its lifespan is a few hours, a few months, or a few years. Leukocyte disorders include leukemia and infections of mononucleosis. Next is about platelets. Platelets is not cells in the strict sense. It is a fragment of megakaryocytes. It's darkly staining and irregularly shaped bodies. It initiates the blood clotting process, and its lifespan is about 7 to 8 days. Next, I will explain about the heart. The heart shape is a cone shape, and it is about the size of its owner fist. It is also located in the center of the thorax or mediastinum. The heart has four chambers that divided into right hearts and left hearts by septum. The four chamber is right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. It also has two atrioventricular valves. Number 1 is tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. It also has two semilunar valves. Number 1 is pulmonary semilunar valves and aortic semilunar valves. The great vessels of the heart are the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary arteries, pulmonary veins, and aorta. Next, it is about type of blood vessels. Blood vessels have two types. Number 1 is arterial system and number 2 is venous system. Arterial system has three types. Number 1 is arteries, number 2 is arterioles, and number 3 is capillaries. For venous system have two types. Number 1 is venules and number 2 is veins. And lastly, it is about blood circulation. Blood circulation have two types of circulation. Number 1 is pulmonary circulation and number 2 is systemic circulation. For pulmonary circulation, it carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs, where carbon dioxide is removed and oxygen is added. It carries oxygenated blood back into the heart. And for systemic circulation, the systemic circulation supplies the tissues of the body with oxygenated blood and also return the deoxygenated blood back to the heart. I think that's all from me. I hope all of you can understand what I explained for this topic. And thank you for paying attention. See you soon and goodbye.